This podcast is meant for mature audiences only and contains strong sexual language.
We are so excited to announce our partnership with Alt Playground, a lifestyle site dedicated to helping you find your next adventure. There are a ton of sites out there for non-monogamy, but what sets Alt Playground apart is their emphasis on being inclusive of a host of ethically non-monogamous groups and sexual preferences. So not only will you find swingers on there, but a host of other groups spanning the spectrum of sexual orientation and gender. Hence, the emphasis on alt. When they say they are an open community, they really mean open. So if you're tired of being pigeonholed into a label or looking for something a little different, check out Alt Playground by heading to altplayground.net. Now let's start the show.
Welcome to the Black and Kinky Lifestyle Podcast. This is the Bomber.
And the Bell.
And we're Black Swingers. Yo, this episode is going to be about when just fucking gets boring. All right, so...
I mean, isn't that why we're swingers in the first place?
I'm glad you mentioned that, Bill. I'm glad you mentioned that because this isn't about just fucking like we all fucking, like everybody's fucking, except apparently Catholic priests and incels. This is really about swingers. When does it get boring for swingers, right? Is it always going to be novel for swingers? I don't think so. I think swingers can get boring and they could start looking for that new big thing.
Yeah.
That the question that we're going to be talking about and answering again from our experience and from our thoughts is, what does that next best thing or big thing look like? What's the next big change for swingers? Because whether we want to admit it or not, whether we realize it or not, we are all looking for something new. And we're going to be talking about that because there are some ways that we have evolved in the lifestyle. And I've listened to a few podcasts. I listened to many of them. I've heard other swingers just try new shit, just like firsts for swingers that have been in the lifestyle for years. And I've been personally surprised at some of the things I've heard in other podcasts. So we're going to be talking a lot about that today. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Anyway, 4th of July, Independence Day, motherfuckers is lighting fireworks and shit. I saw something sick. Somebody tied a rat to
I saw that. That was terrible.
Wow, I thought you would have applauded that. You hate rats.
Well, yeah, but still, that's still animal cruelty.
So what did they do?
They tied the rat to a rocket and then shot it off. And the rocket exploded in midair, which is also gross.
Yeah, that's
because then it was like raining rat.
It's pretty awful. I was actually very concerned when I watched the video, not necessarily for the rat, because, whatever, it's a fucking rat. Let's stop pretending like we care about its welfare. But it was the people who did it. Like, I was like, yo, those are fucking serial killers in the making right there. Like, these are motherfucking cartel potential employees. But
I mean, because I was just thinking about the process of, like, first of all, how did they catch this rat? And then, like, who was handling the rat to tie it to the rocket?
I wonder if
they have gloves on?
Right. I doubt it. I doubt it. But I wonder if, like, they made the rat's family, like, watch. The rat was, like, pleading for its life.
The rat was definitely scared.
Oh, of course. The rat knew something was very wrong.
Yeah.
Very wrong. It's like, yo, I can't move. And all these giant humans are staring at me really excited. This doesn't look good.
No.
Humans are never excited when I'm around. So rest in peace to the rat. It's like pieces of him. I don't even know where this took place. But I have to admit, if I was a kid and I saw that, I'd be like, oh shit, that was awesome. Boys are sick.
Yes.
All right, so let me just give a few shout outs. It's been I think it's been psychologically really interesting for me.
Say more.
See, you guys remember the last episode we talked about PCAP. And in that episode, I let people know straight off the bat that we couldn't talk about everything. There was just too much to talk about, and we weren't trying to have multiple parts to this episode. Our Patreon members actually have access to some real raw audio from that event. So if there was ever a reason to just get on Patreon, if you just want to make your little donation just to, because you'll have access to all the audio we've ever put up there, and you'll have access to all of those audios that we took at PCAP, which it was really raw. I'm telling you, it's a different show on Patreon.
Yes, it's much more intimate and personal.
Yeah, I cursed a lot, and I was drunk. I said some real crazy shit, but I also recapped.
Oh, you uploaded all of those?
Yeah, all of them shits are on Patreon.
I thought you said you weren't going to do that.
Nah, I definitely did that shit. But also some really graphic detail about what happened when I explored the play floor at PCAP on my own. And one of the things that happened was I did play with a woman there. I might have alluded to it in the last episode. I played with a few women, but one of those women was actually from monogamous marriage. Her and her husband have a great blog online, and we'll link it to in the show notes. But they basically chronicle their experiences in the lifestyle in a really honest way. They're a very sexy couple outside of Toronto, and yeah, they were at Podcastapalooza. One of the several great guests, hosts, I should say, that were there. And I did not mention that play session on the show in as much detail. And there are a couple of reasons why I did that, or why I didn't do that. I think on one level, I knew that they were going to write about the experience that we had. And I was not 100% sober, and my memory is already fucked up as it is. And I didn't want to get on this show and recount the experience and it be some real inaccurate shit based on what they wrote.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just wait until they write what they're going to write. And then I'll respond to, I'll talk about it then. But yeah, really sexy couple. So how did we first meet them at PCAP?
So we were in the pool, and we were just hanging out, and I don't know, you had got to talking, and I swear within like 2 minutes your tongue was down her throat, which is fine. We were just talking, and so he was like, I'm married, I'm a slow mover married to a fast mover, and I was like, yes, me too, clearly, because they're over there making out, and we just having a very, I had a lot of serious conversations at PCAP.
Yeah,
clearly you did not.
No, I had a few serious conversations, but I was in the water with my shades on. I was trying to have a good time in there, and we were on the same page immediately. So yeah, we were making out, and it got really hot under that water. Like, I'm sorry, Kate. I think we fuck around and broke some rules. It's all in the blog. So we'll provide the link to the blog in the show notes. I want to say that they actually sent us the draft blog before they released it.
Yeah.
And I could not read it. I was like, Belle, can you just read it? Let me know how you feel about it, and then I'll read it after you read it.
Because it was about you? That's why you couldn't read it? Or
it was about me, and it was about a very intimate experience with me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to fucking read this shit.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a nice account, a very accurate and descriptive, detailed account of what transpired between everybody. I liked how they went back and forth. I've never read their blog before, but I liked how it wasn't just like one perspective, but you got both perspectives. How he was feeling about the situation, what he was observing, how she was feeling, what she was observing, all those kinds of things. But I think the thing that you're pointing to is that the artwork that was attached to the post. Mm-hmm. So the artwork is a painting by an artist.
I think it's Amwaku Bwafo.
Waffle.
Yes, Amwako Bwafo, and he is this Ghanaian artist. I don't know if I don't recall telling them, again, fucked up memory, but like my family's from Ghana, so that painting, I mean, it was I'm glad, like, it, you know, it's just this black dude reading a book, butt ass naked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's me right there. Like, that is such an act. That's a perfect image for this shit.
Yeah.
So shout out to the artist, and shout out to the shout out for the artist. I've slept with a good number of people in my life. Okay. I'm not saying it to brag about it. I'm just saying that, you know, I've had a sexually active life, clearly, before the lifestyle and within it. Nobody's ever fucking written an account of a sex session with me. Like, that's some new shit.
Well, as far as you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Have you ever had somebody write about a sexual experience with you?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
But do you understand, like, the kind of,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's just, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. I don't think I've ever even heard anyone talk about their experience with me.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think so. Like, when like,
Don't
they
we
might
have-
say, yo,
don't
we
have,
played.
because people do that in certs. We got certs on some of them websites.
Oh, come on, man. A cert is like a fucking sentence. Like, I'm talking about like a manuscript, like a fucking, like a blog post. Like, there are paragraphs in this shit. You know what I mean? And and it's me that she's talking about. Now, what I do want to say is that, so first of all, I had a great time. It was awesome. Playing was fun, very sexy. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. There are a couple that works out, so they can perform and they look like they can perform, which is a big fucking deal. So shout out to them. I think like they went out and had a really good time while they were in the state. They're probably still here, still having a good time. They really get it in. But I just want to say a few things. First of all, that was my first play session since COVID. I still had dust on my lifestyle dick. And I had to clean it off before I played with her. Like, I was rusty. You know what I mean? Like, it was interesting because in her blog, she talks a lot about we found each other in the playroom in a way that just never happens. Usually you just lose people. Like, we were in the pool, we were playing around, messing around, and then we found each other. It was like fate. It was like, yo, the bomber had to fuck at PCAP. It had to happen. The fates just needed that to happen. Don't know what it was. Maybe somebody will come across this blog and it'll change their lives. Maybe this will lead to a lot of world peace and bringing together of the black and white lifestyle alike. I don't know. But one thing I want to say is they are advanced. I think there were a couple of things that surprised me about the blog, and I don't know if you got surprised by this as well. But I feel like I think both of them might have mentioned in the blog something about either cuck or hot wives. Did the cuck term come up?
Yes,
or
it did.
Yes.
That he likes the scenarios in terms of watching his wife get fucked by another guy, but without any of the like demeaning, belittling piece. Like that part, he not feeling that.
Yeah.
But he does like, you know, just watching.
Last thing I wanted to say about Monogamous Marriage blog is that I encourage people to check it out because they also wrote about their experience with Jay from Average Swingers. This is a big deal. No pun intended. So Jay, as we said before, has penile implants.
Yeah.
So he actually has the power, he calls it like a robo-dick. He actually has the power to command at will an erection, kind of turns it off and turns it on by the flick of a switch. And Monogamous Marriage had the opportunity to play with this robo-dick.
And I would have liked to have been there for that.
I would have loved to have been there for that. There was so much, like, you guys have to read that blog because she just talks about her experience with this new dick. And she also talks about how that dick came to exist. I mean, there's kind of a, it's interesting. He calls it Robo Dick, but if you've ever seen RoboCop, like, his dick went through a very similar set of traumatic experiences that created RoboCop. Like, it was, she lays it out. It's a really good account, but she talks about it. But she also talks about how the process of, you know, getting his shit erect was like part of the play experience.
Mm-hmm. I actually want to see, like, because it was part of the foreplay, like, how do you go about that? Mm-hmm. Like, how do you incorporate that? Like, that's just interesting to me. Like, you know, I think, like we said, sex can be weird. It can be different. It can be funny, all those different kinds of things. And so I want to know, like, what is the approach? You know, because you might not have penile implants, but it may be something else. You might have a third nipple or something like that, or you may have large labia. Like, just what is the conversation and interaction when you're introducing somebody to your body and it's something different, something they may not have seen before. Mm-hmm.
Like, it made me just ask myself, like, okay, how is it part of the foreplay? But, like, if you really think about it, for guys, foreplay is a lot like turning on the dick. Like, I mean, foreplay is really about turning on, turning us on. It's about, like, flipping that switch.
Yeah.
And
whether proverbial or literal.
Right. And it's like he literally has the switch like that. I mean, whether he's turned on psychologically or not is another question. Mm-hmm. But as far as the dick, it's like, yo, it's just a switch. And, you know, for guys, I mean, women are constantly, you know, trying to turn that shit on for guys. Like, it's just a slower process, or it's a more unpredictable process.
Yeah.
But the question I'd have for women is, like, you know, think of all the times you were fucking or you were in foreplay and you were trying to get it hard and it wasn't working. Like, is that something you've worried about? Like, that shit just shutting off on you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's always a concern, that the dick is not going to work. Mm-hmm. Yes. Especially if, like, you're really into the person, you're into the situation, everything like that. Like, that's... I won't say that could ruin the play, but it would be disappointing.
Well, yeah. Well, with this shit, you wouldn't have to be disappointed. I mean, you wouldn't have to worry.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, that still begs the question about the psychological aspect of it. Even though his dick is erect, like, I mean, I guess he can still fuck even if he's not psychologically there.
That's true. I wanted to also shout out a couple that I failed to mention in our PCAP recap for some reason. Swinging Outside the Lines. I don't think I mentioned them, or we didn't mention them. So they were definitely there. Adam and Belle, who I didn't realize their swinger names are based on Beauty and the Beast.
Because I didn't know the Beast's name was Adam.
Nobody knew the Beast's name of Adam.
Like, if you would have said Beast and Belle, I was like, oh, okay, I got you. I was like, Adam.
What if it was Beast and Belle? That would have been interesting. I would have calling him Beast would have got old though.
Yeah.
I wonder if calling me Bomber is getting old.
I don't think so.
Like, what's your name, man? Can't be calling you Bomber all the time. Shit, got me feeling small. Bomber. It feels so powerful.
It is. No, people get me like that. They'll be like, oh, well, that's your show names. What are your real names? Like, nigga, I don't know you. Belle, bitch. What?
But yeah, shout out to them. Glad Adam could actually make it out. We went to their seminar at PCAP.
She made it sound like he was in jail. Like,
no,
glad he got what is that? Not early release, but
parole.
No, like when they get the work release. There you go.
Yo, Adam, glad you got out, man. Stay out of trouble though.
Right.
No. No, I said that because Adam actually had an injury, and so like, actually, it was never questioned whether he would make it out. It was just a question of whether or not he would have a cast on. Belle, I've already talked about, very, very gorgeous woman. Found out that she was still looking for that single male. And like a few brothers in the audience that heard that were like, "Yo, so just can you just list the criteria? Like, what does he need to look like? I just need to know my chances."
See, she's a woman that likes tall men, which I can definitely get behind. So,
I wonder if she's done some modeling. I'm not sure. She looks like a model to me every time I see her. She has this larger than life presence. Also wanted to give a shout out to Living the Sweet Life. So if you haven't caught our collab episode with them, check it out. We recap our experience at PCAP together, and also go into a little bit more detail about our play experience with them. Mm-hmm. I know y'all perverts have just been wondering, like, oh, I wonder if the Bell and Bomber and Locke and Trista played around. Oh, man, that must be real hot. All right, it happened, so you can listen to that episode and check it out. Also want to give my last shout-out, I know we're taking a while now, right, to Black in the Swing of Things, another Black lifestyle podcast that was just out there and had no fucking idea until somebody, like, pointed it out. But I realized that they don't appear to be on iTunes or Apple. They're on Spotify. Mm-hmm. So if you listen to podcasts on Spotify, check them out. Black in the Swing of Things. Very clever name. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish we had that one. Mm-hmm. So just wanted to give them a shout out, supporting my fellow Black podcasters. All right, so let's move on to the hit list.
It's time for the hit list.
So the hit list is basically a list of folks, celebrities, semi-celebrities, people we just seen around the block that, you know, we might like to get down with. So I actually have two, and I think they might have been both on my hit list before, but it's okay. They have been reignited moved up again to the top of my hit list, whatever. So the first one is Jonathan Majors. He played Tick on Lovecraft Country, and he'll also be playing Kang in the new Loki Marvel, you know, what is it? Series 3 or whatever with phase 3, I think.
Phase 3, maybe phase 4, actually.
I don't know, phase 3, phase 4. But he is just, like, if you see some of his modeling pictures, like, he is just a very, very attractive man. Mm-hmm. Yes. And he can get it all the time, anytime.
Yeah, he was definitely on your hit list before.
That's okay.
You've mentioned him.
He's coming out with a new show. Although Lovecraft Country is not getting renewed for a second season, which is sad. I know you don't care.
I was so mad about that. No,
really?
I was mad about that because even though I did not fucking understand what was going on.
Right. That's what I was like, what?
I didn't understand what was going on. Each episode, I understood the horror of each episode. And all I needed was the horror. Mm-hmm. And I needed original, creative Black horror. And it never let me down. It never let me down. But the thing is, even though Lovecraft is going away, it wasn't the sole source of Black horror. There's just been so much of it out there, that I'm okay seeing Lovecraft go, and looking forward to seeing what other Black artists can think about and bring on screen.
I have to give respect to the writers and the creative team, because the reason that they did not go with season 2, at least from what I understand, is because, like, for season 1 they had a book to base the show on, but they did not have that for season 2, and they felt like the writing that they had was not strong enough for a second season without the basis of a book. Mm-hmm. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, and I just had, because there are so many shows that do this. Game of Thrones.
I was just about to say that.
And they outpace the book, and they try to keep it going because people love it, and they put in all this fan service and all this, because and the product ends up being just terrible. It's really shitty. And so I just appreciate them just respecting the content for what it was, have people appreciate it, and then we can move on to something else instead of having a mediocre product just because people want it.
Right. And you know, if black shit fails, like we just don't get another shot. Like we get set back. Like it's not like white art. Like white people have the privilege of failing. And y'all just keep going. Like if we fail, like investment drops off and we're back in the underground. So it's better to just move forward, succeed. Like, you know, what's the show with Issa?
Insecure.
Very important that show could do well. Yeah. It was very important the show did well, and it has done well, and it has opened doors for black drama outside of BET.
So the other one is William Jackson Harper. And so he was in The Good Place, but I most recently saw him in The Underground Railroad, which is a show on Amazon that is based on the book of the same name by Colson Whitehead, which was really good. Also, The Nickel Boys by him is also a great book. But I was not really into him when he was playing on The Good Place, because he was more like a...
He was like a nerdy
Yeah,
guy
he's a nerdy, geeky character.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the Underground Railroad, he plays this character Royal, who's like just really that dude, and he's going after the girl, and his sexy points got stepped up in that show. So
the first time we saw him was actually in Midsommar, yeah. But I just remember when I saw him in Midsommar, I was like, damn, I see myself in this character.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm surprised you brought him up. He must have grown.
He has, yeah.
For this latest role you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my hit list target is going to be Morena Baccarin. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So she played Deadpool's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
But we most recently saw her in a movie called Greenland that came out. It was a Gerard Butler movie. It was Greenland was a dope ass disaster movie. Like, it was really good. So I really encourage people to check it out. I think it's on Amazon Prime or something, or Netflix, one of them. But she is sexy as all hell. You know, y'all might. I mean,
she was his wife.
Yeah, she was his wife. Cute ass brunette. But she's actually.
Yeah, I was like, she alright.
Nah, she's sexy as hell. She's Brazilian, Italian, and Portuguese, son. Like, it's serious. So very sexy chick. Check her out. All right.
You are listening to the Black and Kinky Lifestyle Podcast.
Hey fellow B&K fans, I know y'all are enjoying the show, but damn, we have to wait a month for each episode? I don't know about you, but that's way too long for me. That is one of the many reasons I support Bomber and Bell on Patreon. They release content on their Patreon every week. I really can't get enough of their Pillow Talk episodes, where they get real personal, and girl, it's like having a backstage pass to your favorite artist. It also doesn't hurt to hear my name shouted out every episode and have ready access to the Bell and the Bomber through their private chat. If y'all want to join in the fun, head to www.patreon.com/blackandkinky and donate a few dollars a month to keep the show going. I know it's for a good cause and all that, but I'm just trying to get my fair share of this sexy ass podcast. Speaking of which, I'm finna finish this episode.
So that's our hit list for this episode. We are interested in hearing what some of the folks you've witnessed in the world that you would love to bang, or somebody who's just really got your skin crawling with all their sexiness. Honestly, we just want to know, because we're perverted, and we want to know how many sexy people are out there that we're missing. So please send us those at blackandkinkylifestyle@gmail.com. Let's move on to today's topic, which again is when just fucking gets boring. How the lifestyle opens up doors for new self-discovery for swingers. So we tried watching a show on Netflix that was recommended to us. Let's start there.
Yes, it's called Sex Life.
Okay.
Sex Life. And I had heard people talking about this show, And I was like, we had finished Black Summer, which is great.
Great zombie series.
Series,
yes,
yeah.
Very good.
Season 2. And so we're like, put some on, check it out, see what it's all about. And to me, it opened well. Yeah, so it's this monologue with this woman, and she was the party girl. She was fucking all the dudes, but then she settled down, got married, had kids, and now basically sex with her husband was boring. Mm-hmm. And so she was looking for how to find that spark again.
Right, which is like the most fucking basic. But it's a real concern, like when things get stale in a relationship. And there's a scientific term for this. It's called like the Coolidge effect, and it was coined by a behavioral endocrinologist named Frank Beach in 1958. And he's talked about it as operating to make us seek out novel mating partners when our fertilization job appears to be done. It works by building a tolerance to or boredom with the same person or stimulus. Over time, their presence becomes less rewarding to the primitive brain. And over time, we just have a less and less desire for the same sexual partner. So it's like, duh, like, like for those of you who, and this apparently doesn't happen to everybody. All right. If you're still super, super hot for your partner and y'all just been doing the same sex positions for 10 years and everything is still fresh and new, like, God bless you. But to the rest of the Homo sapiens on this planet, being with the same person gets dull after a while. You want to find new experiences. Now, so that's the Coolidge effect. Now, there was this other term I learned about called self-expansion, and it basically means, I think there were two scientists, Aaron and Aaron, who coined this one in 1986, a long time from 58. Self-expansion is expanding one's sense of self through novel, exciting, and broadening activities with a partner. Because alternative partners offer novelty, new opportunities for self-expansion, or the desire to enhance oneself through excitement and new relationships. We seek new relationships. And so it's almost like we want to grow. We want to, we want to meet new people, have new experiences, because there is like this innate belief or desire that as a result, we will grow as people as we absorb others into ourselves. It's actually a really spiritual idea. And I actually love that idea as an extrovert. Apparently, that's what I've become.
You've always been an extrovert.
I have not always been an extrovert.
Oh, I have this conversation again.
It's not true, son. I'm telling you, got to ask my undergrad friends. But yeah, this self-expansion thing, I really dig the idea. And then I started thinking, as I've listened to podcasts, swinger podcasts in particular, and have talked to swingers, like, shit just changes over time. It's like they don't just do the same thing. And so that got me wondering, do swingers experience like a Coolidge effect? Like, of course, they might be experiencing sex with other people, but after a while, does that get boring? Mm-hmm. And do they look for something more?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially if you have like a core group, a tribe of folks that you're just playing with over and over again, I could definitely see, just like with your primary partner, if you're, having sex with them can get, kind of redundant and dull over time. And so you want to mix it up. And I mean, mix it up doesn't have necessarily mean new people. It could be, a new place, like, you go on vacation together, you try different positions, you try different accessories, toys and things and all that kind of stuff. But there's just something about a novel partner, I think, as well, that helps to mix it up, because it's just the opportunity to learn someone new. Like, everybody has their way, I would say, of having sex. And so experiencing that with someone else is going to be a very new opening experience. It's going to be very different from your primary partner and your usual play partners.
You know what you just actually, so I think that's true. You know what you just reminded me of? Yeah. Like I remember when our tribe was in full effect and we used to have our like little hotel parties that were sponsored by, that were hosted by More Getaways. And so I remember like, it'd be like the same faces there, right? Sometimes, but then every once in a while there'd be a new hot couple that would come in, and I know like everybody would be like, fresh meat. You know them? Nah, I don't know them. Oh, I saw them at a party like a couple of months ago, but damn, did you play with them? Nah, we didn't play with them. Oh, all right, we gonna see what happens tonight. And it'd be like, yo, we be aiming for that new couple. We have all these other couples available to us, but we aiming for that fresh meat. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what is that? What is that about?
It's the novelty.
I know we're not the only ones, because I was just listening to that couple next door, and they were recounting their experience at Desire, and it was something real similar. Like, you know, J and K, you know, they had their usual friends there, but you know, like when you have a crew, you start attracting like it's like moths to a flame. And so they were talking about like this new couple that was there, and Jay was just smitten with one of these chicks, like apparently a hot chick that had like a DP fantasy or some shit, and like they were just fresh meat. People were going after this couple, let me just say, and I didn't feel guilty about us going after new meat when I heard. I was like, okay, this doesn't just happen to us. But it's like, yeah, like even if we played with a couple once or twice, when we see that new shit, I'm gonna tell you what goes on in my head when I see a new couple. I'm thinking, all right, I appreciate our friends. I got love for them, and I love playing with them. But I know for me, I have a limited number of nuts to spare at a given party, and I want to save at least a couple for this new couple, just in case I need to make an impression. Right, like it's not just one nut; you need that second one too. You know what I mean? It's like that first nut is a gamble. The second nut, you can do some damage. So when I see a new couple, I'm like, let me just slow down. So suddenly I'm like excluding my friends from my dick. Like, wait a minute, slow your roll. Let's just make out, because I gotta see if I need these nuts.
Then that like goes against something that you talked about, I don't know, last episode, a couple episodes ago, talking about the FOMO, right? So it's like, are you gonna go after this new couple? Because there's no guarantee there, right? You don't know them, you never played with them, you never seen them play. Right. Yeah. And it could fuck up the whole night, because it takes you out of the party. It takes you away from the party. It takes you away from everything that's going on, and then it could be a disaster.
You're right. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But I'm trying.
But you still don't do it.
I'm chasing my self-expansion.
Okay, self-expansion.
I'm trying to develop.
Expand yourself into a dry dick.
No. Dry dick is never good. No. But yeah. But it's interesting that we want to do that. Like we could have a whole crew. So I don't know. Is that what do you think something similar when you see a new couple? Like,
absolutely. I mean, especially if it's a black couple, it's like, oh, like where they been at? Like, you know, why haven't we seen them around or on the sites or whatever that kind of thing is? So, I mean, again, the lifestyle is all about meeting new people and, you know, being social and that kind of thing. So that I think that comes with the territory.
Because I feel like there were times where, like, we were in a situation, we knew a couple that was in a party, in a club, maybe even at a resort. Even when we know that the play session with the couple would be bomb, I feel like in the back of our mind, or even out loud, we might have said one time, "Oh, we played with them. We played with them already. We played with them already. Like it's let's see that couple over there. Let's go after them." I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but the fact that even with a couple we know it's explosive, we'll still take the chance with some new with new
Now,
partners.
do you think that is still the case, though?
It's interesting that you bring that up because I don't think that that's the case. And the reason why it's not the case is because we've gotten bored with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're like, I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't really happen recently, but I remember the idea because we went to a rooftop party and there were really sexy couples at the party. Not only were they sexy, there were couples that we wanted to play with. Not only were they couples we wanted to play with, but they were couples that we knew and had dates with before. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That we wanted to play with.
Yeah.
But we had already had something set up.
Right.
And there was like, I swear, I don't even know what to call it. I feel like it has a name.
What?
I feel like it's like the greedy swinger.
Yeah.
Bomber's greedy ass swinger. And I had in my head, and tell me if this wasn't true for you too. I was thinking, maybe we could turn this into a group situation.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You were.
I mean, not like everybody in the group, but at least like, we could bring one more couple along, something like that. Make that happen. Just everybody. If everybody was vibing, the mood was right. This isn't a private party. It doesn't have to be.
Yes, I was thinking the same shit like that.
Yeah.
That again, but I never said it out loud. Why didn't you say something?
Oh, because I mean, that's I'm not the organizer.
Yeah, but you didn't suggest anything to me.
No, But I didn't think the mood was going to move in that direction.
Let me just say something. And I'm actually include a clip from the episode we had with the Sweet Life, because we had talked about this to quite a great degree, that women really are deciding what direction this train is going in. We might be the conductors, but you guys make the track. It's nothing if you are not interested.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're interested, it drives the whole thing, because I'm already there. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll definitely smash this chick. Like, that's me 90% of the time. But like, when you like a guy, it's interesting, Tris. When you like a guy, like, your whole aura changes, your whole mode of operating changes, and it's just impressive to see. So I'm just like sitting there minding my own business, and you're like, oh, there's a play situation going on right now. Let's go. And I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
So y'all really make the magic happen. So like, once y'all on it, like, it's like we're just in tow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. Like, that last little bit of confirmation from you makes it so much better. Just your enthusiasm when you're excited about it. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yes.
That makes it like so much better. I feel so much more comfortable to just go. Like, all right, let's do this thing then, within reason. Within bounds.
Within reason. Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad you didn't say anything to me, because if you had said some shit like that to me, if you were like, hey, Bomber, I know we're meeting with this couple tonight, but maybe we can, get so-and-so in on this action. Yeah. If you said some shit like that to me, I would have first of all, that would have took me right out of the party.
Yeah.
I would have gone to the bathroom and just rehearsed what my lines would be to the couple we wanted to recruit into this play situation. I would have had to rehearse what my lines would be to them and what my lines would be to the couple that we were meeting up with. Yeah. Like, I have to create, like, I'd have to introduce them to the new couple, like, and we'd have to work. I'd have to think of a quick icebreaker game. Again, I'm the conductor. You're just deciding where we're going.
Right.
And I probably would have fucked up the situation, because that would have been a lot of pressure. Yeah. But like,
and it was already a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Just with the one couple.
It was
for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that you say it's a lot of pressure, but you still would have been open to have it. You would have been open to a group situation with new partners.
If the mood had moved that way.
I would have been trying to get the mood to move that way. But I think time was against us. I think if we had enough time,
absolutely against us. If everybody had more time to marinate together, I think it could have been a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, me too, because the couple we had the couple we had invited to the rooftop party, like they were really sociable and fit in really, really well. So it was a possibility that some shit could have really popped off. And what's interesting is that they were the new meat at the party.
Yeah.
So I know people were looking at them like fresh meat. She had a fat ass too, serious. And he was looking good. Like your man, just they came ready and prepared. Let's talk about how people evolve in the lifestyle, because I think that in a lifestyle, we can be exposed to a lot of stuff that opens doors for self-expansion, new relationships, new experiences that we may not have had before. Interesting thing about Jay from the Average Swingers podcast, I think it was his first time playing alone with a monogamous marriage, and I was really surprised at that. I thought that they had done that before, but they hadn't. It was their first time, and they've been in the lifestyle for a long time. Like they have more experience than we do. So I was really surprised to see that. But it was just through, and I would suggest people check out their last episode, because you hear them talk about some of their concerns about that going in. Sometimes the things that you thought that you would like, this is another way you can sort of grow and evolve in the lifestyle. Sometimes the things you thought you would like might turn out to not work for you anymore. So we were talking about like looking for that novel and new experience. Back to that rooftop party where we met with that couple, I was incredibly comfortable. I'm really glad you did not bring up the possibility of us inviting another couple to that room, because I thought about it, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Like, I want to stick with this right now. I know that there are like damn fucking like 4 couples on the other side of the table that I would love to play with tonight, but let me not fuck this situation up. Yeah. And let me just stick with this. Like, this is the party we planned. Let's just stick with this party and not let, FOMO get in the way, because it might have screwed up the whole night. Yeah. The other thing is about leaving the party to play. I learned that I don't want to do that anymore. Anything else that you've learned through exposure?
Besides wanting to try a butt plug.
Oh yeah, the butt plug thing.
I still haven't done it though.
No.
Well, because see, it's not, at least right now, it's not about like the pleasure part. Again, I've said this before. It's just the aesthetics. Like I literally just like how it looks.
Right. But you would literally have to put something in your ass, which is something
the hesitation.
which was a big deal for you.
Right. That is the issue. You didn't want to do that.
And
then be walking around with something in my ass. So we'll see.
Yeah, you need to listen to the 2 Hot Wives last episode. It was all about anal play. And they get real on that episode, like real in a way I have not heard other podcasters or sex positive educators talk about anal play. Like, they go in, like they're like, yo, like, I know y'all motherfuckers think about this issue, that issue, and this issue. Let me tell you something. There is a solution for these things. There are things that you can do. They go into the biology of it. Like, it's serious. So I would suggest, if you are interested in putting that thing on, listen to their podcast. You're not the podcast listener in this relationship. I understand that. But if you're really serious about that anal plug, listen to that episode. Okay. It's serious. All right. Some other things. So you already talked about the fact that you're okay with just not playing.
I am absolutely okay with not playing. Like, here's the thing. I've had a lot of dicks in my day. Okay. And while every now and then a dick will surprise me, like, it's okay if I miss out on 1 or 2 or a few. Like, it's just, we've had so many experiences, like, it's just not that serious for me anymore. And I want to, and the thing is, like, I think when we first got into the lifestyle, we were definitely about like quantity of experiences. Like, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to, do all the things. And now it's definitely, for me, it's more about obviously the quality of the experiences, and quality of the experiences was still important in the beginning, but definitely less so. Like, it was just like, let's get through all the kinks. Let's just do everything so we can just figure out, what we're doing and have all these experiences. But Now it's like, one, I think the value of our time is much higher.
Yes, amen to that shit.
And so when we do go out, I want to make sure that I'm having a good experience, and I would rather not have a play session than have a bad play session.
Yeah, you're talking about like if you're gonna invest the time and energy into playing with a couple, that shit, like the expectation is like bomb. Yeah. Like it has to be like, this is gonna be an awesome experience, but just because it's new is not going to be enough.
Right. Like if I'm snatching hair out of my pussy just to go on this date, like some shit better be happening. Like something good better be going down.
But let's talk about some of the things that people might be discovering in the lifestyle. Some of this may or may not apply to us, but some things that people may discover. I think it's interesting. I'm listening to more and more podcasts, and I'm learning that guys are a lot less homophobic in the lifestyle. I feel like they go in with like society sort of, for your average heterosexual male, like homophobia is like a norm, biphobia even for guys. But guys tend to get a lot more comfortable. Just the MFM experience, for example, like, oh no, no homo. Like, why would you want another man in the bedroom? Like, why not another woman? Like, guys discover, well, no, it's not really about that. Like watching your woman getting piped out by another guy is actually pleasurable. Being able to like join in and please her in these new and interesting ways is really cool. It can be real turn on. Being able to take a fucking break. And it takes the pressure off, and taking the pressure off during sex, I'm gonna talk about it later, is actually such a big deal. It's not like this little thing. Like it's actually really serious when that happens. Some guys discover that they're bi in the lifestyle. I'm just gonna say that shit outright. I think women kind of discover their flow when it comes to bisexuality in the lifestyle, but I think it's more accepted.
Not.
Yeah, well, you might discover that you're straight too. Like, nope, thought I was into pussy, but I'm definitely not feeling it at all. Like when you were in the lifestyle, you claimed bisexuality. I think that's so fucking interesting. Could you say a little bit about that? Like
I didn't claim bisexuality. Like I claim bi curiosity.
On all the lifestyle sites, you were like, yo, just put I'm bi. Yeah, I like licking titties and shit.
I do like licking titties. Yes. See, that's the thing. Like I like certain aspects of it. But listen, from jump, I was always like, I would never date a woman. I would never eat pussy. Like I was never interested in either of those things, which I think are like big pieces of being bisexual for a woman. So, like, but I was always
might
very
have a little something to do with it.
Yeah, that was always very clear about those aspects of bisexuality for myself, and so I don't know. So I guess at this point it just makes sense. But I mean, I enjoy making out with women. I enjoy sucking on titties. Just that's it.
That's it. Above the waist, bitch.
Above the waist. And there are other women like me out there, so
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
But I've never I don't think I've ever led a woman on to believe that I wanted to eat her pussy. If I did, I'm sorry. I don't know how that happened. But
that would be some disappointing ass shit. Could you imagine? I thought you were gonna eat my pussy. Nope.
No.
Not eating it. But you said nope.
No, I didn't. Your husband lied to you.
So that's one thing. Folks discover new things about their sexuality.
I feel like all of mine are like regressions.
Sex toys. So using sex toys. Never something that occurred to us.
Yeah. I mean, not that it didn't occur to us. It just wasn't our thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that they are our thing now, though.
Man, cock rings.
I
never thought I'd put on a cock ring. Like that's one of my sources of insurance. Also, dick insurance. Like the fucking some of the fucking pills and shit. Never something I thought about, but I'll do it now. I always thought vibrators were a sign that marriages were failing or that the guy wasn't really doing his job well.
Really?
Yeah. Before entering the lifestyle, that's what I thought about vibrators.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
Like, vibrators get pulled out in the lifestyle all the time, and it has nothing to do with the guy's performance. Sometimes it could be helpful. You know, every now and again, a woman will pull out a vibrator. I'm like, damn, I thought I was doing okay. Like, why is she pulling that thing out? My dick isn't enough. Yo, it gets pulled out all the time. And now when it gets pulled out, I'm like, okay, how can I help you with this right now? So I think that's another way I've sort of evolved. Some people go poly. That's not us, but some people have done it.
It's a thing. It does happen.
You know,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. BDSM, some people have discovered that that's a thing for them.
Yeah, that's still not a thing for us.
No, we tried. We tried. You know, if you read the blog that Monogamous Marriage wrote, there was a moment she asked me, how kinky am I? And I kind of laughed because I was like, damn, you asked. And I don't know what answer I can give you that's not disappointing. You know, we kept the name Black and Kinky because we use the word kinky in a very, very broad sense.
Yes.
But we're not into that BDSM shit. And you know what I discovered about myself?
What?
I'm okay not being a dom.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a dom. I'm not that nigga who's gonna be choking you and like fucking forcing you to speak in tongues and like putting fucking collars over your neck. I can't be that kind of nigga. Like I can't. I tried. It doesn't work. It's not in my spirit. I'm letting the world know right now, the bomber is not a dom. Like, I'll smack your ass cheeks every once in a while if we fucking. I'm not one of them niggas that's going to smack your titties. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to smack you in the face. Yeah. I'll pull your hair. I like pulling hair. And I pulled some locks in our play session, which was awesome. I like pulling locks. I really like doing that shit. So I always ask first.
Yes.
But that's it. Like, I don't want to put handcuffs on you. I don't really want to blindfold you. Yeah. We've tried that. Yeah. You liked it, though.
Yeah, it was cool.
Making a movie, that's something we've tried.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked how we looked. Like, we looked better than I thought we would. You know, you have to get the right angles. Yeah. But I liked it. But like, the thing is, like, I don't feel like we need those things, though. Like, we don't need that to be a part of our sex. Like, it's like a fun thing that we did once, but it doesn't have to be a part of our regular sex life.
A lot of the things we discovered sort of run that line of things that we don't need. But again, we wouldn't have known that unless we tried.
Yeah.
But we've done a lot. We've done MFM, you know, we've done the foursomes. Yeah. We like that shit. And it was something we'd like to keep doing. Orgies, we still like. Oh, yeah. They're just extremely difficult to coordinate sometimes. Yeah. But when they can happen, it's great. And we would like to continue that. Exhibitionism and voyeurism, we love them both. Yeah. And role play, we did this a little bit, but we don't do it much more.
I feel like we used to do this more pre-lifestyle.
Yeah.
We would do like role play sessions more then, but we haven't done one in a long time. But also, we just be trying to get it in when we can get it in now.
Well, now, yeah, definitely. But I would argue that when we were doing role play, it was more so because we were running into that Coolidge effect I was talking about earlier. And so role play was a way of spicing things up, but then we discovered the lifestyle. We didn't really need role play that much after that. So there's that. Some things that we haven't tried that we might want to, you know, expand our experience towards. You want to put on a strap on and fuck a chick.
Yeah. No, I want to fuck you with a strap on.
Well, I don't want you to fuck me either. So let's just take that shit off the table. But would you want to fuck another guy?
No.
Oh, damn. I thought you would have been interested in that. All right. So MFM, I already talked about that.
Yeah.
Cuckold, not really interested in that. If it was a scenario where I was smashing a white chick and she was talking to her husband about how much bigger my dick was, you know what? I might try that. I might want to do that. Like, just try it once. Okay. You know, I don't think I'd be doing any of the humiliating, but I would just want to be in the room to see that shit play out. What's the problem, Bill? Just speak your fucking mind. Like
No,
what's
because
got
you
something
know
to say?
she's gonna say
what is
she's
it?
gonna say more than that, and
What?
then you know
What is she gonna say? This big black dick.
Yes, yes,
It'd be
exactly.
a factual statement. Though. All right. So DP, something I would like to try. Hopefully that
You
that
have tried that.
failed. I tried it and failed. Meaning I tried to get in. Actually, I think I was almost there. The guy just went soft, and then it just didn't work. He was on the bottom. I mean, he had we had quite a mission ahead of us, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. I feel like I need to take a DP class though. Like, where do my feet need to go and my knees? Like, I can't be on top of his legs, and where do his legs need to be?
To be with someone experienced.
Yeah, somebody who's done it before.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be in the squat position for too long, so there has to be alternatives. You know what I mean? Like, I know I want to be the one on top. Like, I want her to be doggy, and I want to be on top, entering in, like, through her ass, and that should take some finesse.
Yeah.
There needs to be like more anal sex classes for guys, because there's a whole art to aiming the dick. Like, you have to like aim towards the navel and shit. Like, you can't just go straight in sometimes because. Like, the way the fucking rectum is pointed, like, you have to know where it's go. Like, you got to know what the path is. You can't just stick your dick in there willy-nilly.
I think you just need to talk to a top.
Talk to a top. Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So all of those tops out there,
I have the most experience.
let me just say, there's one thing I do want to try. I never told you this.
Shit.
So I think it's called furries. So folks that wait, I'm going to explain this. Hold on.
I know what it is.
So you know what it is. Can you explain it?
You dress up in these like big stuffed animal suits and fuck each other, right?
Yes. So stuffed animal, like like a big bunny or a dog, or
So what is your animal?
Probably want to just be a wolf. Like, I don't know, maybe Snoopy or something. I don't know.
Oh hell no! What?
It does. I mean, what do you have an idea in your head? I mean,
No.
you've been watching a lot of cartoons with our son. Like, was there any like cartoon characters?
What? You gonna dress up as Bluey or some shit?
Bluey. There we go. That's what I'm going. Bluey from like the Disney Channel. It's an awesome kids show.
First
You guys
of
need
all-
to check that out. It's a cool fucking show. So yes, I would be Bluey.
Wait, first of all, Bluey is a girl.
Oh, Bluey's a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, but she's the blue dog.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not gonna work. That might fuck up the whole vibe. Wait, brother, you're in a female costume. Nigga, get it right. We got a system here. You got guys over here trying to fuck you, man. Get it together.
This is terrible.
All right. So, what's the name of the female, the male character? I really wanted to be a blue dog. No, I don't even care.
No, but they are like they're. You could the dad. I forget what the dad's name is.
All right, I could be the dad dog.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what.
Bandit. Yes.
Wait, what?
Bandit.
Bandit?
Yeah, that's the dad's name. It's Bandit.
Bandit. Okay, like Ben did.
No, Bandit.
Oh, Bandit, like crooks. Like,
Yeah.
Like, okay, so Bandit. That's kind of cool. That's kind of gangster.
Yeah.
So I would be Bandit from fucking Bluey on the Disney Channel, and yeah. So basically, yeah, you put on costumes, and people don't take off the costumes. Like, they
Right.
fuck while they're in the costume. I guess, there are places where you can, take the front off or whatever and
Yeah.
pull your dick out, and people can expose their orifices. But let me tell you what I like about the furry idea. What I like about the furry idea is that I don't have to see what your face looks like. But I could still get to know you through your costume, right?
Right.
So if I am digging your personality,
Yeah.
based on our talk, and I don't know how this plays out in furry circles. I haven't done the research yet, but I'm just all I know is costume fucking with the costume on.
Right.
All right. So I don't know if they have to get together and act like the characters they're dressed in. I would have a hard time with that. So hopefully that's not required. But I like the idea of like I don't get to see you, but I get to make a connection with you, and if we like each other, I get your orifices, and we just fucking, and I kind of like that because sometimes I get turned off by the visual of folks sometimes, and I know I'm not alone here.
Fucking bandit.
I mean. Like, honestly, but think about it. Have you ever met somebody and you were like, wow, their personality is really, really awesome. I just wish they didn't look like that. Have you ever?
That's terrible.
No, but have you ever had that? Yes.
But it's terrible.
It's human.
Yes. Okay.
But I'm just saying, the furry situation just removes that possibility.
Yeah.
And because all it is now, you're just like, okay, furry, nice personality. And okay, let me see his dick, or let me see her pussy. Okay, it looks good. It looks clean. All right, let's go. Okay. It just simplifies things. All right. So furry. Anybody out there, some furry parties? Some furry parties where I could be the character from Bluey. I'll get it together, I promise. All right, quick word about APG. They got a bunch of meet and greets going on out there. Check out APG altplayground.net and sign up. Check out their meet and greets and all the sexy folks they have in their network of members. All right, moving on to Facebook fuck shit.
Hey yo, what the fuck? Get ready for some Facebook fuck shit.
So Jasmine Sullivan, I think a few weeks ago, posted a question on her IG stories for people to respond to. And so the question was, so what's the craziest thing you've ever done for someone with great sex? So this is like, that bomb-ass pussy, that bomb dick, had to have it. What did you do? Here are the responses. Pretended to be homeless so I could move in with him and keep tabs on him. He still cheated.
Damn.
Let him drive my boyfriend's car for the entire 6 months my boyfriend was deployed.
Oh.
You just a trifling ass bitch.
Yeah. See, that's how people get shot. These chicks be getting niggas killed, man.
Listen. Go to an AA meeting with him and introduced myself as an alcoholic. So now you got a whole habit and going to an AA meeting with him. That's crazy.
Called supporting your partner. That's not bad.
Sold my eggs to pay his jail bond.
Oh, damn.
Now, let's break this down, first of all, because, selling your eggs is no easy feat. Going through the whole process of egg retrieval just to pay for this nigga to get out of jail, and he going back in jail. He going back to jail. The fuck is wrong with you? Now you got some random ass children of yours running around here that you don't even know.
Wait, hold on, but that was plural. So is that like every month? Like, how much can you get for an egg?
Oh, you can make money. I thought about selling my eggs at one point in time. But then I was like, yeah, no, I didn't want my DNA running around there without me. But this one is just stupid. Drove at night in the rain when my windshield wipers didn't work.
Okay.
So you had a death wish.
That's pretty psychotic.
Right. What in the world?
Sometimes the sex is really good, though. I mean, sometimes, when you have sexual chemistry with somebody, you'll fucking climb mountains to get to it.
Okay, I'll give you 2 more. Cooked for him and his new boyfriend.
Okay, that's serious. That's serious. Oh, shit. Yo.
So you gosh. So we just having a threesome after? Is this what happened? I just need to know, what was your thought process around that? All right, there's the last one. Told him it was okay that he stole $40 out my purse and that I was there for him if he need more. Oh, so you were dating a crackhead. This was a crackhead with good dick.
Yo, sometimes that crack dick is good.
Don't make no sense. That's all I have for today's Facebook fuck shit.
Oh, that is amazing. You know, before I had a car, there was a girl that lived in an entirely different borough. She lived in Jamaica, Queens. I was in the Bronx in New York, and I didn't have a car, so I would have to. This is what we would do. I would take her out on a date, so I had to take the train down to Queens, pick her up, and then we would get back on the train, take it somewhere else, go to dinner. I would have to get back on the train with her again to go to a hotel, and then I'd have to take her from that hotel after it'd be like 2:00 in the morning, go from the hotel back to the train, take the train back to her place, walk her back to her house, then walk my ass back to the train, and then take that shit back to the Bronx.
Oh, hell no.
That was an entire, and it was just normal for me. Like it was just weird, like me walking the streets just at 3:00 in the morning, just with my do-rag and shit, just walking these streets with all my male privilege. So yeah, sometimes that happens. We had a message. I think this was more so in response to the episode we did with the Sweet Life, so I'm going to read this out. So hey, what's up? Just listened to you guys on the Sweet Life podcast, and you guys are talking about Black Swinger community, and it sounds like you guys are out of the loop. The Black Swinger community is almost all on Facebook and not on swinger sites. So they said, I'm not sure if you guys are, if the white Ellis community is what you guys like, but there's a booming Black lifestyle community on Facebook. So for example, they cited a hotel takeover that happened in October that had 500 people in it. So
y'all being real reckless with Facebook. I mean, that's my reaction. Because that's just, for me, that's too close to my vanilla stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we didn't really get into Facebook in the beginning. I mean, I managed to make an account now, and even with that account, I'm like kind of iffy. Like it's really like bare bones.
Because listen, the algorithms with Facebook, they be showing up like who you might know, all that kind of shit, and I'm like, I don't need that to be popping up on my auntie's or my third cousin's Facebook profile.
Right.
With my ass in the air. No, we don't need that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I was able to make an account for us that is not linked to any of our personal stuff. And so the one who wrote this email, I actually had some dialogue with him, and he ended up connecting us to all of these LS sites on Facebook. Or not LS sites, but LS pages and groups. And so he's right, and this wasn't a surprise. Like I we were part of a few groups on Facebook, and there are a lot of parties that are advertised on Facebook that are very Black centered. And I've spoken to other promoters who have groups that are very private, and so there are a lot of Black lifestyle groups that are on the private side, extremely discreet, and so they're not quite featured in the way that a lot of white lifestyle groups are. Now, I think that there are still a lot of white groups as well that are also pretty discreet, and one thing I'll say is that there seems to be like as far as we can tell, a lot of the lifestyle sites I've seen have been mainly in like the Midwest, also in Texas. basically all these parties are going on and we can't go to any of them because they're too far. So I'm just going to say that outright. Like I didn't see a lot going on the East Coast. But again, I'm sure that they're out there. It's just that it's just so interesting that it's on Facebook, and not on swinger sites. Like I don't know. I'm not sure why that is. But yeah, I would agree that there is definitely black lifestylers out there, and there are a lot of them, and I'll stand by what I said in terms of it being a very segregated community. But thanks for that. Maybe one day we'll be able to check out some of these events. I know Urban Swingers is another group that throws parties mainly in the Detroit area. But again, very discreet. It's not a public thing. Right. So it's interesting. And so like I use events like Podcastapalooza and Naughty and Nolans because these are not private parties. Public, yeah. Like if you search those parties and events, you will find them. But some of these other groups, like you're not going to find them because they're on Facebook. And so a lot of, black lifestylers who are trying to get into the lifestyle, they don't want their families knowing. So they stay away from Facebook as well. Yeah. But just a note that, if you are one of those couples out there that are looking for lifestyle events, black groups, and some of the folks that we're talking about here, you can create a Facebook account. Apparently, if you just, create an account, get an email, use, your name and the name of your partner, your name as the first name, the name of your partner as the last name, and then N as the initial. And if you have a picture up, for some reason, Facebook is just cool with that. Oh. And it's that simple. Wow. And so you could have this Facebook page that's not connected to any of your other Facebook accounts, not connected to anything else you got going on. Don't connect it to your email. Just create a new email. And from what we know, that should leave you pretty safe now. Yeah. There might be some settings you have to, you might have to adjust the settings on Facebook to not link, your, what the hell you call it, your phone number or something like that. Don't put in any of your...
But you have to put a real picture, though, like with your face.
Right. You do have to put a real picture with your face. Although I'd argue, use a different... Like I said, use your name and the name of your partner, but use different names. Even if you do put your face on there, if you're using a different alias... It's just a fucking couple. Like, who are you? Like, we have our faces on there, but who are we? Like people see that face. It's just another black couple. Yeah. So yeah. So thanks to the individual who sent this email, because that Facebook secret I did not know, and it worked like a charm for me. I was just able to create another Facebook account. So we have 2 Facebook accounts. One of them is lifestyle and one of them is not. All right. So thanks for that. If any of you are part of these like huge black communities that are throwing events, reach out to us. We always want to support. All right. Moving on. So Bomber's Bougie Broadcast. Let's get in it. Just real quick. Sticky Pages. E-Train and Lolo.
This was a couple that we had met years ago. We met them at a pool party really randomly. They came up, they had driven up for the day for this pool party. And maybe after 30 minutes that they had been there, like we were playing. And we just had a good connection, good vibe, like really good time with them. And we just didn't see them again because they were from out of town. And, you know, you try to get together, you try to make things work, but it just didn't. And you and E-Train, I think, stayed in contact, you know, texting, that kind of stuff. But other than that, like, really didn't have any opportunity to hang out and that kind of thing. And so, you know, the world shut down, came back open, and the stars aligned that they were going to be in town and we were available. And so we were like, okay, we got to figure out how to make this work. You know, so before that, any of that happened, like, we were like, okay, let's at least, because we haven't seen you all in years, literally like 3 or almost 4 years. Let's just have a virtual date first, like a Zoom, you know, whatever, FaceTime date, whatever, so we have been doing Zoom dates during the height of the pandemic, and then like we just stopped for some reason. And so when we decided to do this date with them and it came around for the date, we were completely unprepared. They were very prepared. Like, she had on her lingerie, they had, you know, the drinks and the vibe and everything going, and like I was looking a mess, like, just had my house clothes on. Like, I don't know what you were doing. You forgot to remind me about it. That was the main reason why I was looking terrible.
Yo, so many couples had flaked and just half-assed it. Like, yeah. I just didn't care. Like, this was too good to be true, and I was like, I don't even think they're gonna show up. So yeah, I didn't even remind you because we just been flaked on so much. Yeah. So I was just like, whatever. And they were clearly ready.
Yes. Yeah, but it was a good call. Like, we got to catch up and it was good seeing them, and just like, you know, remembering the vibe that we had and that kind of thing. So that was good for me because that got me excited, you know, but still wasn't like we didn't want to get, and you're always like this, but I'm not as much. I'm more, you know, optimistic, but we didn't want to get our hopes up about anything.
Right.
And because we were available this weekend, like, we had jam-packed the weekend, like Thursday through Sunday with events. Like, every day we were doing something, doing multiple things, that kind of thing. So we made a plan, you know, we would, basically get together we'll meet up at our rooftop event and see where the night took us.
Yeah, the rooftop event was thrown by a few friends of ours. We're part of this band group. And this was the first rooftop event they threw since the pandemic. And they're really fun. They're just like lifestyle adjacent folks that get together and just play games, drink. And it's a pretty cool vibe.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there were some sexy couples up there, like we said before.
Yeah.
Very sexy couples, but go ahead.
No, so you were talking to him throughout the day, kind of like seeing where everybody was, coordinating. So
yeah, and yeah, so we had got to the rooftop after we went to this other event. We went to what was it called? It was Black Couple Travel.
Black Couple Getaway. We've been wanting to check out their event for some time. It was a very busy Saturday for us. So we went to that event. Very vanilla. It reminds me just why we like hanging out with lifestylers, because they're just more fun. Or not that they're more fun. It's just like, you know, I had to be really careful at a vanilla event like this. Like, there's a bunch of black couples that get together. They're strangers. And, you know, like, you got to be like, I had to be careful not to be flirting with the female partners we were meeting and, you know, be really, you know, just vanilla. And, you know, I feel like we were a really happy couple. Like, I feel this way a lot when we're in these vanilla settings. Like, we're very happy, very easygoing, and everybody just doesn't look as happy, with the exception of like a couple of couples that were there. Everybody else just looked miserable to be together. It was weird. Yeah. So anyway, we went to that, and then we went to the rooftop, and the couple, E-Train and Lolo, met up with us there. They got there a bit later than we would have liked because
we had a pretty tight schedule that day. So I think we were on, by the time they got to the rooftop, we probably hung out for like an hour. And I was telling E-Train, I'm like, listen, because he had booked the hotel, like they were about it. Like he, like, you know what I mean? Like I had identified a few hotels, but I didn't book one because in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't want to book one and then they not show up. Like I was still super pessimistic because I hate getting my hopes up. Like I've been let down so many times. Like I got wounds, man. I got lifestyle wounds. I got pain. I need some healing.
Oh, boy.
So they came and they showed up and he booked the hotel. Like I'm just like, oh shit, this is real. This is happening. So I go up to him. I'm like, yo, like we can only chill here for a little while because we, play sessions last a while. So if y'all still really about this, he's like, all right, cool. Yeah, whenever you're ready to go. And I'm like, oh shit. And the thing is with me and E-Train, like anytime we talk, I feel like we've been friends for a long time. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those guys. He reminds me of somebody else in the lifestyle. I want to say it's Mr. Black, where like a year could go by, 2 years can go by, and we don't talk. The next time we talk, it's like we've been talking the whole time. And that's how me and him were. So it was just really cool. But I was like, there has to be a catch to this. Like, you know what I mean? But there wasn't. Like we left the rooftop party. It was pretty much over actually by the time we left.
Other people were leaving.
Right. And I'm glad that they got to meet our friends. That were up there because maybe we can make this orgy happen one day. I don't know. But we ended up leaving there, met up at the hotel, and I got my lights out, got the lights set up, ladies put on their lingerie, and it was on and popping. Like I mean I'm not, if y'all want to hear the dirty ass details, you're gonna have to get on Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go over them now, but it was fucking crazy up in there. Like it was a long ass play session.
It was a long play session. I mean, it was a great play session. It was long for a reason because it was good. But I don't even think we realized like how long it was. It's one of those times where you don't feel the time passing. Like you're just in the zone.
Yeah. No, you don't feel the time passing, but I remember a couple of moments at least where like me and him were both in full thrust mode. We got y'all warmed up, and when you're in full thrust mode, like it's when you hear that flesh pounding. That was going on for a while, and in my head I'm like, yo, we still fucking, like this is still going, like. And I still got like a good 10 minutes of this shit left in me right now. And that happened a couple of times. It's not like it just happened once. And there were times where like it was two, like, I guess, queen beds.
Yeah.
And there were moments where we were all on just one bed going at it, and we were separated going at it. And it was like we were looking at each other. It was great. It was great. How many nuts
I don't even know.
did you bust?
I know y'all ran out of nuts at the end of the night. But it was definitely multiple. I would say upwards of more than 3.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know we went through a lot of condoms.
Yeah.
And it's a rare time where like when I bust that last nut, I know it's over. I know it's over. Like it's done. Like I do it with you all the time. I'm like, listen, Belle, it's done today. It's
Sometimes
over.
you still be trying though.
Sometimes, yeah. But this time, no. I did not try. I knew it was over.
Yeah.
So what I liked about that is that we left that hotel room very satisfied. Everybody was satisfied.
Yeah.
And that's fucking rare.
Yeah.
It's just so rare. And it just happened. Like it just fucking happened. Like we had childcare. We had a full day, and we met some vanilla people, got in touch, got to talk to our friends and have fun with them. And then couple out of town.
I mean, but that was the thing that we said, though. I think that the pressure was off from the day because, like, one, it was, although we planned it, like, we were okay. If we were like, okay, if nothing happens, that's fine. Like, we still had a good time today. Like, we did all these things, like, you know, it would be great, all that. So even if this doesn't end our night, that's okay. And I think, you know, because the pressure of the day to have a good time wasn't resting on this play session, made it even that more enjoyable.
Yeah. And I think after this, another thing we had mentioned was that so shout out to Locke and Trist, because the play session we had with them in PCAP was like the perfect intermediate play session you needed before the play session we had with E-Train and Lolo.
Yeah.
Like, it was like you're warm, like Stella slowly getting her groove back.
It was very slow.
And then after E-Train and Lolo, you were like, you know what? I'm back.
Yeah.
The bell is back. She's still not playing as the bell, though.
No, I'm not.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our sticky pages. Let's talk about what we have coming up soon. PCAP Encore.
Yes.
So PCAP Encore, PCAP is back again, happening again in the same motherfucking year. We're not talking about PCAP 2022. This shit is happening this year. 3 nights, 76 rooms, full hotel takeover in Dallas, Texas. All right, so there's going to be day parties, theme nights, edutaining seminars, drag bingo. Don't know what that is, but it sounds
drag
cool.
Bingo is, first of all,
What is that?
Love bingo. It just like it sounds like drag queens bingo.
Okay.
Like the drag queens calling the numbers and stuff.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. Yo, I got nothing but love for drag queens. I'm going to tell you right now.
Who are the Dallas queens? I don't think I know who. See, I'm behind on the most recent season of Drag Race. So I don't know. And I can't remember there being a Dallas queen.
See, you be watching that Drag Race show.
Yeah,
it's not my show, but like sometimes I'll just walk past the screen.
Yeah.
Yo, some of the shade and snarky ass comments that these motherfuckers be having on the show is just fucking hilarious, man. So drag bingo, erotic painting.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
And shibari classes. What are you even going to do with erotic painting?
Don't you just put like the paint on your body and like
Yeah,
lay on a canvas?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Or like put the paint on and then have sex on the canvas?
I don't think that's what's happening here.
Okay.
See, this erotic painting could mean anything. I'm sorry, Kate. We should have did our homework before we talked about this, but fuck it. This is B&K. We keep it real on this show. So erotic painting, I was thinking, body, like painting on your body and you just fucking jump on a canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know what your titties can do on a canvas.
Abstract movie art.
Shibari classes.
It's the tying. It's the rope tying. Is Locke leading the class?
Yeah, because he tied Trist up really good. There are a few pictures on Instagram.
I would try that. I would try Shibari. But then, I was actually thinking... I was like, but then I don't want them to like do it too tight around my tummy and like my little rolls be squeezing out and I look like one of those, the salami that has
Oh my gosh. Looking like a pint-sized sumo wrestler.
Right.
No, your rolls are sweetheart. Your rolls are sweet.
Oh, thank you, babe. I'm still trying to get rid of them shits, but in the meantime,
right? We only got until
I know it's not enough time.
All right, so November 5th to the 8th. So we are gonna fucking be there.
Yes.
So y'all motherfuckers need to stop playing. Get these plane tickets. Come out here and party with us in Dallas. Yo, you know what Kate told me?
What?
One of the fucking themes is going to be versus, arcade versus. That means Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, okay? Mad fighting games, fucking Tekken. Yo.
Wait, what's Tekken? I mean, I've seen Tekken.
Tekken is a fighting game. Come on,
I know
now.
it's a fighting game.
Yes.
But like, who are the characters from Tekken?
All you got to do is look it up. The reason why this is a gold mine theme is because video games have been highly sexualizing women more so than movies have.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
video games, like ever since Chun-Li started this shit. Ever since she started doing those kicks, yes, and fucking opening up her legs. All the fucking video game developers were like, yo, we need half of these bitches to be sexy in this game.
Lara Croft.
Yes, Lara. I don't know if that's a versus or whatever. Arcade. No, there's no whatever. It doesn't matter. Somebody can come at Lara Croft. Nobody's going to care.
I'm even mad if somebody comes as Pac-Man.
Oh, my God. If somebody makes a sexy Pac-Man costume, like kudos. Kudos to that shit. I don't know how you make that work. But there's so many arcade games that just have these sexy ass female characters. All you got to do is put on some lingerie and put on a mask, and that's a fucking Mortal Kombat costume right there.
But what are you gonna do?
I already have a Street Fighter costume.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably just gonna come to that. Dudes have lots of options. Like, just find a ninja costume or a fucking karate costume, and then boom, that's like half the fucking arcade fighting games right there. So, and there's going to be multiple mingle events, on-site playrooms, motherfuckers. Remember, like, we're talking about Texas here. Texas got some lifestyle clubs. We'll be visiting them shits. It's going to be on and popping now. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be like Miami where motherfuckers was going to the beaches and shit. This isn't going to be like, sitting on beachfronts or whatever, but this is really going to be taking advantage of that city lifestyle, sex positive flavor. This is going to be a lot of fun. We have a shitload of podcasters that are going to be there.
Says us is living the sweet life. Monogamous marriage will be back. Expansive connection. Average swingers, and of course, Kate and Daryl from Wonderlust Swingers.
All right. I am going to be sure not to dare Angie to
jump in the pool.
There will be a pool there, but it's going to be in November, so I don't know if the weather is going to be.
Is it an indoor pool?
I think it's a rooftop pool.
So. Well, I mean, it's Texas though. It still might be hot.
And climate change might be in our favor.
That part.
So yeah, man, people need to come out. All right. We talked about Podcast Palooza. We told y'all motherfuckers is about it at that party. So come through. Holla at us. All right. So let's move on to just our Patreon chat shout outs. I'm going to go through them here. We have a few new ones. All right. AMCD. Attitude Adjuster. I think you have one of my favorite Patreon names. Bedroom Bliss, Big Meat Maine, Blasian Couple, Brown Girl, Camellia, Carlos, Chadwick, Chris and Crystal, Clifton, Denary, Darren, Damon, Dez, Dante, Texas Bama, Guan, Gil, J-Dub, Johan, Just Trying to Be Real, Cassandra, Kyle, Lene, Eminem, Melody, Mitri, JJ, Mr. and Mrs. Graham, R&R, Raft, Raven, Red and G, Redonia, Ricky, Robert, Rosen, Albert, Rizzy, Rennie, B, Suzanne, Tamika, and T.Y. So we really appreciate y'all for keeping the lights on.
Yes. Y'all have really been showing out on Patreon, so we appreciate all the new Patrons. Patrons? Yes.
Thank you all for tuning in. Bella let you know how to follow up with us. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please do check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Black and Kinky. You can also find us under the same name on Cassidy, APG, Amort Getaways, and Patreon. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube under Black and Kinky Lifestyle. Feel free to email us at black_kinky_lifestyle@gmail.com or call and leave a voice message at 937-462-0744. Bye.
Black and kinky lifestyle.